come from? And where are we going?
Welcome, friends. This is Red Ice Creations Radio. Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast. We are recording from Sweden. My name is Henrik Palmgren. I'm the editor and webmaster of redicecreations.com, a website dedicated to news, research and exploration of all kinds of topics and areas that we consider to be not only interesting but also of great importance. So stop by our website often, check out our many different sections that we got up there, much to read, see and of course listen to. Also check out our forum and join in on the discussion. This radio program is online with a new show every Thursday and Sunday. If you want to backtrack, just head into our archives and tune in. And today I have the pleasure of welcoming back to the show researcher Kent Daniel Bentkowski, or Kentroversy as he's more known as, I guess. His website, of course, is kentroversypapers.net. And I hope that you were with us during our first show that we did back in January. It's great to sync up with Kent again and to be able to dedicate an entire show here to a very important topic. Or a person, I guess. This is about potential president in 2008, Hillary Clinton, and Kent wrote an excellent article a while back entitled Hillary Clinton's Hidden Agenda of Manipulation. And we are going to dive into that today and try to dissect this upcoming presidential candidate and get some of Kent's personal views and a whole lot more. So it's a pleasure to welcome you back to the program, Kent, and thank you for coming on. How are you today, Kent?
Well, I'm doing very well today, Henrik. Thank you for having me on the show again. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kent. It's great to have you back. You know, this is a very interesting topic, and I'm very glad that we're going to spend some time on this today. And to kind of get into things here, I'd like to read a few of the paragraphs of your article. Starting like this: the elite handlers of Hillary Clinton will be presenting a hidden agenda of manipulation in an attempt to overcome her highly negative image in the minds of those in New York State whom she has represented in the United States Senate. To overcome this highly negative image with voters, a carefully manufactured popularity will be presented by placing her in front of a hand-picked audience where nothing will be left to chance. And it goes on to say, now that Hillary Clinton's hidden agenda of manipulation has been unveiled, it is time to begin examining this matter under the microscope of logic and verifiable facts. She is such a divisive and unlikable person that this entire presidential run is going to have to be carefully orchestrated. I will be here every step of the way, where at appropriate times throughout the campaign I will comment on and describe what is happening. The best way to learn about this manipulation via the mass media is to watch it develop before our very eyes. And that sounds a very good approach, Kent.
Yeah, what happened is I wanted to look at this through the perspective of my previously working on a local congressman's re-election campaigns, which I had done in my college years and in my early adult years, from 1981 to 1988. And who I'm referring to here is Congressman Jack Kemp, who in 1988 ran for the Republican nomination for president. I actually have a side of my family who is involved in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who, in 1986, married a man who now owns a company. At this point, controls 22 different subsidiaries, and they are extremely wealthy. And speaking with these people, whom my cousin had become involved with through marriage, I learned as early as 1988, while Jack Kemp was running for president, that not only would he not get the nomination, but that George Bush Sr. would be the next president, president in between the Bush junior and senior presidencies. There would be a Democrat that would be in office, and this would all be orchestrated and controlled to where in 2000 election we would have George Bush Jr. becoming president. And when I had heard this was in 1988, so you're talking a good, 12 years beforehand of what was going to be taking place. And what actually did transpire is exactly what I was told.
And you were told this directly by this person that your cousin married?
That's correct.
Very interesting.
And so what happened is, as I said, George Bush Jr. was said to be being groomed for the presidency as early as 1988, and this was before his ownership of the Texas Rangers baseball team. This was before he became governor of Texas. And in this article about Hillary Clinton, I do mention George P. Bush, who is the son of Jeb Bush, former governor of Florida, how he is presently being groomed to become the first Hispanic American president. And this will play into the high level of illegal immigration that we have coming into the country from Mexico at the current time. So by the time he becomes ready for that presidential run, it will seem like a natural thing, just like it is now, that we should vote for a woman as president.
So at that point, maybe he even might become president of the entire American continent, I guess.
Yeah, the North American Union.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, that may be very true.
Yeah. In regards to Jeb Bush's son, George P. Bush, have you? Is this an inside tip, so to speak, also, or is this your kind of hunch or interpretation of how this will play out?
Yes, it's both.
It's both. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So heads up on that. That's a very interesting.
My interpretation of some inside information.
Okay. I see. Yeah. Very interesting. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on. And in regards to this Hillary thing, this was something that you mentioned back in 2002, I guess, right?
Yeah. What happened is after 9/11. I started to compile a dossier on Hillary Clinton because what began to happen was a series of articles appeared in the Buffalo News, where I'm from, and it would talk about, is Hillary the proper person to become a woman candidate for president who could actually be elected? And so I started collecting these articles and putting them together in this dossier. So once I started to read the articles and to understand, as I had just explained, how far in advance these people are groomed, what I did at that point is begin to speak publicly to people and ask them, do you believe Hillary is electable? Would you vote for her? And in September of 2002, which I have a screenshot in the article itself, I do identify on a message board Hillary Clinton, first future woman, first president of the United States who would be a woman.
That's very interesting. So that's more than an interpretation at that point, because you have inside information. So you are convinced at this point that Hillary will be the president in 2008, I guess.
Yes. Not only that, it will be a two-term presidency.
Interesting. Any ideas on who she will be, who she will come up against? I mean, I think Alex Jones had talked a lot about Arnold, but at this point I don't see it. But that might very well happen. Any ideas?
It looked like it might be John McCain, except for in the past week or so, there has been news that have come out of his campaign talking about trouble they've had in raising funds. So at this point in time, there is no front runner in my mind. And I don't think they're going to throw Arnold up there against Hillary, because that would represent two sides of the very same agenda, and I think that would be a wasted opportunity for both of them.
I see what you mean.
In fact, you mentioned a moment ago about George P. Bush becoming president of the North American Union.
Yeah.
That appears to me to be the role that Arnold will play.
Oh my, okay. Very interesting. Yeah, they might be holding off on that guy because I guess he is a person also who can, I guess, raise a lot of money and actually is very popular in regards to that. He has, starred in so many movies and so forth, and actor seems to be very favorable in an American context, I guess.
Yes, that is true. However, he has made some very damaging statements throughout the years where he has spoken about his admiration for Hitler and how Hitler could control an audience and how he admired that, how he dreamed about being a dictator and having hundreds of millions of people at his beck and call, and under his command.
Yeah.
So that at this point is coming out to be a little negative to him.
Yeah, very much so, absolutely. So let's dive into the area of Hillary Clinton, and of course in the paragraphs I read at the beginning, you are speaking about the hidden agenda of manipulation in regards to this, and you also outline, I think, you have unveiled for us the tactics that are being used, and I think I'd love to kind of dive into that right away. I mean, what is Hillary Clinton's hidden agenda of manipulation?
Well, first of all, as you did quote in that little piece that you did read from the article, she is a very negative and a very divisive figure in our local area here. And as my senator in the United States Congress, for the past 5 years, I've gone out into the public when I've gone to the grocery store or when I've gone out to dinner or when I've gone to the drugstore or just anywhere, basically. And I would ask people at random, would you vote for Hillary Clinton? And I still, to this day, have not hit a single person who say yes.
Really?
That's correct. I've asked over 100 people at random, people I do not know, people who are waitresses and work behind counters at stores, people that I run into at the bank, and all over the place. And what these people indicated to me